If you haven't watched HBO's Chernobyl yet, I hope that at the end of this video you will be drawn to do exactly that. The miniseries lasts only 5 hour-long episodes and is of course about one of the worst nuclear catastrophes that we've ever encountered. The show does a brilliant job of opening your eyes to what really occurred during this incident, not what just physically happened that day, what physically happened to the nuclear reactor, but to the people, to society, and the failures in communication and competence, and it turns what I understood about the disaster on its head. Now, this is a dramatization of the event, so some things are obviously there for the suspense of it, or maybe amplified for the suspense of it. However, the most haunting part of this series, the most captivating, is that the show tells us from the very beginning how everything ends for the heroes of this story, and they still amaze us with the points in between. Introducing Valery Legasov, played by Jared Harris. He is the person in charge of investigating the incident and mitigating damage moving forward. He was a key player in making sure that it wasn't a bigger disaster. This series is about bringing light to these unsung heroes who stopped something as bad as Chernobyl from not only becoming far worse, but preventing a dozen Chernobyls from happening in the future. He joins the team directly after the mysterious explosion and acts as the reliable narrator for the audience. His knowledge in the nuclear field means that nearly everything he says comes with the trust of it being accurate, being the right step forward. So when the mechanics of nuclear reactors are discussed, we don't have to be experts. We have our trusted protagonist's facts to believe in. Then when he's opposed, we're opposed, and we know who the bad guys are. It's brilliant. I love it. It's so well done. But what makes this story so great, the beauty of Chernobyl, is that the bad guy is the incompetence and the state that these people lived in. It's hard to blame any one person when even the person you want to blame for the accident is still being blamed for an accident. Surely no one intended for this to happen, and the show does an outstanding job of showcasing how the societal norms of the Soviet Union made this happen, made this so much worse than it was. The Soviet Union was an extreme communist state. They controlled the flow of information to create the appearance of a thriving nation, and it came at the cost of their people. The idea of disinformation, not misinformation, but disinformation, is the idea of spreading false information used to mislead. The KGB could snatch anyone up for putting information that they didn't like into the world, information that didn't align with the government's interests, under the guise that they were spreading disinformation. This idea of disinformation and how it was used as a tool for oppression can be best showcased in this brief clip here.
Professor Legasov, I understand you've been saying dangerous things.
Very dangerous things. Apparently our reactor core exploded. Please, tell me how an RBMK reactor core explodes.
It's disgraceful. Really. To spread disinformation at a time like this.
For context, these two are in charge of the Chernobyl operation. When the explosion happens, they try to enforce this idea of 3.6 radiation level. They spread misinformation, and then once someone challenges it, they state right away that the other person is spreading disinformation. The ultimate trump card to play to win any argument in this society, because this fear of the government was so very real. It's everything that this show is about, and it's so incredibly well done. It's showcased. There's so many intricacies of how they talk to each other. I love every second of dialogue that was put into this show. And the main takeaway is that incompetence blossoms in this society. I won't spoil every aspect of the ending, because unless you study this, you likely won't know every mind-numbing detail of how this happens. But just keep this in mind. Extreme communism shaped how this event happened. If it weren't for the ideals pressed upon the people and the workers of this place, it's entirely possible that this never would have happened. Now, let's talk about the other beautiful aspect, and that is cinematography. Well, I'll be damned, it is stunning. Scenes of the managers defending the incident are often paired with the victims. In the final episode, we have a court case, and a victim of the accident keeps coughing throughout to show the permanent damage done by the few people they blame it on. The smokestacks behind the managers here bellow harmful radiation into the air while they stand far away and state that it isn't that serious. My favorite part of this miniseries is the use of this noise. Since gamma radiation is completely invisible, has no color nor sound nor smell, it's even rare to see symptoms on first contact, unless, well, you pick up a piece of graphite that was used in the reactor. My point is that it's hard to showcase what radiation is actually doing to the people exposed. This haunting sound is generated from the tool used to measure the radiation. The louder and faster it sounds, the more radiation these people are being exposed to. You'll see this best showcased when the divers are forced under the reactor. It's a moderate but unknown amount of radiation as they dip their feet into the water. Then as they get to the objective that they're after, it increases and the scene darkens, making your heart pound as our heroes knowingly risk their lives to save the day. The sound echoes across pipes and rings out until finally everything goes black. It is the perfect use of a ticking time bomb literary device on screen. This tool is the perfect thing to showcase the suspense of the moment, and I love it so much. Along with the government lies to the outside world, the disinformation scaring people to lie, the incompetence of people too afraid to ask what to do because of societal norms, this show does a damn fine job at showcasing the resilience of the human spirit. When faced with certain death, when faced with doing nothing or dying to protect those around you, time and time again, people did what they needed to do at great personal cost. The official death record by the Soviet Union was only 31. But the effects of this are still being felt, and the long-term death record now nears almost 100,000. And that is why HBO's Chernobyl is so good. It showcases exactly how this information came to be, and in some ways showcases the early steps that led to the fall of the Soviet Union.
First, the accident is well under control.
And with that, we come to the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to subscribe for more just like it. Special thank you to everyone on Patreon, Chris Cole, Michael Link, Robert Holtz, and Kelly Zahara. I'd also like to announce that the novel I've been working on for years now is about to release on July 27th, not August 2nd, as we discussed previously, but Cyclic has been moved up, the advanced reader copies have been sent out, and we have a bookstore that will be doing our book launch party. So if you're in the Austin, Texas area or wish to come here, be at Malvern Books at 7 p.m. You'll see the event linked here, so you can sign up and RSVP. Come hang out, see me read, pick up a copy of Cyclic, and yeah, we may have an after party afterwards as well, so I hope to see you there. Much love, everybody, and I can't wait to talk to you all again soon.